Imagine this. It's late at night, you're exhausted after a long day. You lock the door of your rental home, turn off the lights, and your dog jumps onto the bed like always. For millions of people, this feels normal, comforting, even necessary for good sleep. But what if I told you that in many rental homes, sleeping with your dog is actually banned? And violating this rule can cost you warnings, penalties, or even eviction. Most renters have no idea this rule exists until it's too late. It sounds unfair, maybe even ridiculous, but once you understand the real reasons behind it, the logic becomes impossible to ignore. And before we go deeper, if you enjoy uncovering hidden rules, everyday laws, and rental policies most people never read, make sure you like this video and subscribe to Logic Unlocked right now. This channel breaks down confusing rules in simple English so you don't get caught off guard by fine print that can seriously affect your life. Now, let's talk about why sleeping with your dog can be banned in rental homes. Because this rule isn't about landlords hating pets. In fact, many landlords love animals. The issue is responsibility, liability, and long-term damage that most renters don't even notice. Rental homes are shared investments. Floors, carpets, mattresses, walls, and even air systems are reused by future tenants. When a dog sleeps in the bed, especially regularly, it increases the chances of shedding, dander buildup, odors, stains, and allergens embedding deep into mattresses and fabrics. Unlike furniture you own, rental property items must meet hygiene standards for the next tenant, and removing pet-related allergens completely is extremely difficult and expensive. One of the biggest reasons behind this rule is allergies. Even if you personally don't have allergies, the next tenant might. Dog hair and dander can remain trapped in mattresses and carpets for years, even after professional cleaning. In the United States, landlords can be held responsible if a new tenant suffers health issues due to undisclosed allergens. To avoid this risk, many rental agreements strictly control where pets are allowed, and beds are often at the top of the restricted list. Another major issue is property damage. Dogs scratch, drool, have accidents, and sometimes chew without warning. When this happens on a bed or mattress provided by the rental, replacement costs can be high. Mattresses are not cheap, and damage isn't always visible right away. Odors can develop over time, becoming noticeable only after the tenant leaves. From a landlord's perspective, banning dogs from sleeping areas reduces long-term wear and unexpected expenses. At Logic Unlocked, we often talk about how rules that feel personal are actually based on patterns. Landlords don't create policies based on one perfect dog. They create them based on thousands of past experiences. Over time, complaints, lawsuits, and repair costs push property owners to draw strict boundaries. Sleeping with pets is one of those boundaries. There's also the issue of noise complaints. Dogs sleeping in beds may react more strongly to sounds at night. Barking, growling, or sudden movement can disturb neighbors, especially in apartment buildings. Rental laws in many states require landlords to maintain a peaceful living environment for all tenants. If one renter's dog disrupts others at night, the landlord is legally expected to step in. Preventing dogs from sleeping in beds or bedrooms is sometimes part of noise control strategies written into lease agreements. Many renters assume that emotional support animals or service animals are exceptions to all rules. This is only partially true. While service animals are protected under federal law, landlords can still enforce reasonable rules related to cleanliness and property protection, as long as those rules apply equally and do not prevent the animal from performing its function. That means even legally protected animals may still be restricted from certain furniture or sleeping areas if clearly stated in the lease. Another factor is insurance. Most landlords carry insurance policies that specifically limit pet-related risks. Some insurance providers require landlords to enforce strict pet rules, including no pets on beds or furniture, to keep coverage active. If a landlord ignores these conditions and a claim is filed, insurance may refuse to pay. This puts the entire property at financial risk, which is why landlords take these rules seriously. What makes this situation more complicated is that many renters never read their lease carefully. They see pets allowed and assume that means full freedom, but leases often include detailed clauses about where pets can go. how they must be supervised, and what areas are off limits. Sleeping with your dog may feel harmless, but if it violates the lease, it becomes a legal issue, not a personal one. Some renters only find out about this rule after inspections. Many rental agreements allow landlords to perform scheduled inspections with notice. If evidence of pets sleeping in restricted areas is found, the renter may receive a warning or violation notice. Repeated violations can lead to fines or lease termination. This is why understanding these rules early matters. There's also a hygiene concern that goes beyond allergies. Dogs bring in dirt, bacteria, and parasites from outside. Even well-groomed dogs can carry contaminants that transfer to bedding. Rental properties must meet certain health and sanitation standards, especially in multi-unit housing. Limiting pets from sleeping areas helps landlords maintain those standards without constant deep cleaning. Some people argue that this rule is outdated or too controlling. Others believe it's necessary. The truth sits somewhere in the middle. If you own your home, sleeping with your dog is your personal choice. But renting means agreeing to shared rules that protect the property for others. That's the trade-off. Interestingly, many landlords are flexible if renters communicate honestly. Some allow exceptions with additional pet deposits or written agreements. The problem arises when renters assume permission without confirmation. At Logic Unlocked, we always emphasize one thing: clarity protects you. Asking one question before signing a lease can save you months of stress later. If you're a dog owner looking for a rental, the smartest move is transparency. Ask where pets are allowed. Ask about furniture, beds, and sleeping areas. Get it in writing. This protects both you and the landlord. It also builds trust, which can make landlords more flexible over time. As cities become more crowded and rental demand increases, rules like this are becoming more common. Property owners are tightening policies to protect investments, reduce disputes, and maintain health standards. That doesn't mean renters are powerless, but it does mean awareness is essential. Now think about how many people sleep with their dogs every night without ever realizing they could be violating their lease. That's why videos like this matter. These aren't obvious rules. They're hidden in fine print, quietly enforced, and rarely explained. If this video made you rethink your rental agreement or surprised you, drop a comment below and tell us whether you think banning dogs from beds in rental homes is fair or too strict. Share this video with fellow renters and dog owners so they don't get caught off guard. And if you haven't already, like this video and subscribe to Logic Unlocked for more clear explanations of everyday rules that affect your real life. The more you understand the logic behind these policies, the more control you have over your choices.